Hey guys, we are back with another review. And today I want to talk about something different, you know, something that's like relatable. And according to Crunchyroll, it's been crowned the anime of the year, which is CyberPunk Edge Runners. Now, I know they came out with the game, and the game had its faults, but that has nothing to do with the anime. The anime, I give it a solid 10 out of 10 because they hit on all points. Like it checked the list between action, drama, adventure, even sort of like an emotional aspect, you know. But it basically hits on like society levels, the upper class, middle class, and then you got the poor. And it sort of shows what each class deals with, but mainly sort of like the middle class, like the middle ground. How the middle class got to keep their head above water in order to not sink all the way to the bottom. And I want to touch on this particular, well, the main character, which is David. His name is David. Now, David, he's a sort of like an average teenager, you know. He goes to school and, just average teenager life. But the school that he goes to is one of them high end type of schools, like private type of schools, like vest type of schools. But anyways, beside that, he goes to like this high end school where all the rich kids go to. Now, David and his mom, Gloria, they're middle class, but she can afford to put David through a private school. And she does this by working in the medical field, but working in the medical field isn't enough to put him through private school. So what she does is she has like this side hustle, illegal type of stuff, where she sells government issue enhancements, like body enhancements, physical enhancements, intellectual enhancements to like the black market or, criminal groups, mercenaries. And that's how she's able to afford to put David through private school. Now, within this society, everybody is into cyber enhancements, whether it's intellectual or physical. Now, majority, such as like criminals, they usually go to the physical enhancements, making them almost superhuman. And David's mom, Gloria, how she plays a factor into these criminals getting their hands on these enhancements is she works in the medical field. So when I would say soldiers or even police officers with like government issued enhancements, when they die, she basically gets those parts from them, by surgically removing them, or when they are surgically removed, she steals them somehow and then sells them to the black market and stuff like that. And that's how she's able to make ends meet, and also put David through private school. And I feel like that also like relates to sort of like real life, how the middle class has to, basically sometimes do whatever to make ends meet. But yeah, she does this, and eventually, stuff hits the fan, and she ends up dying, you know, but it had nothing to do with what she was doing. It was just something random. And David, he's already, having a tough time at school with, bullies, and trying to keep up with his studies. And, you know, I feel like when she died, that was like an emotional type of scene, because she was in the middle of, explaining to David, she basically would do anything for him. And she tries to, do her best so that he could have a better life and basically grow up and get like one of them high end jobs. So that way, he won't have to struggle, and, basically he could live life comfortably. So in the middle of her explaining that, a fight breaks out, between, well, mercenaries attack this like envoy type of thing, and they got caught in the crossfire, and Gloria ended up passing away due to her injuries from the crossfire. And their insurance wasn't able to like cover her life, basically, like save her, because they don't have the best insurance. And that's technically like what happens throughout that whole like scene. Like in that type of world, if you don't have the best insurance, then they'll leave you on the street to die, basically, and let somebody else deal with the issue. Like they will literally check your insurance, like scan you and see what type of insurance you have. And if you don't have the best insurance, then they leave you basically on the street to die, and let, another type of group pick you up. And, it all goes around like your insurance and what level of status do you have. So she ended up passing away, and David, ended up dropping out of school basically, or basically getting kicked out of school. And so in order to pay the bills, because he still got to have a place to live, he got nobody to turn to, he turns to the streets. And he basically goes up under the umbrella of this character named Maine and his group, which is a group of mercenaries who basically takes jobs for money, from the corporate people, like the higher up people of society. They take these jobs, whether it involves killing somebody or stealing information. But yeah, they take these jobs for money so they could basically survive, which points back to like middle class trying to keep their head above water and doing basically anything to keep their head above water. So I feel like this anime hits on all aspects because it also relates to, real life. So I give it a 10 out of 10, and I highly recommend anybody to watch this anime. Now, David, he ends up, like I said, going up under the umbrella of Maine, and Maine becomes sort of like his mentor, and he teaches him like the ways of the streets and how to move and, how to think basically. And David's basically learning everything from Maine and how to be a better or smarter mercenary / criminal. And yeah, that's basically like David's life basically through the whole series is, him learning and basically becoming a better mercenary and criminal, like I said. But yeah, this anime touched on emotional aspects and also real life. It also touches on, how the way society is wired and everything. But yeah, I highly recommend this anime for anybody who basically looking for something sort of like emotional slash action, but also it can also relate to real life stuff. But yeah, that's our review for the anime of the year. Check it out, and also check out our latest videos, you know, and also check out well, check out our latest video that we just came out with. If anime villains had a trailer, is pretty dope. Should go check that out, and also our other review on Revenger. Check that out, and Thousand Year Blood War Bleach, and the two-part uh review we did with My Hero Academia season 6, and we're out.